Hello students, in this video lecture I am going to discuss on the anti-reflection or non-reflecting coating. It is an application of interference due to the uniform thickness thin film. So before starting with a working of anti-reflection coating, we required the equation for the path difference between the light rays which gets reflected from the top and the bottom of the uniform thickness thin film, which carries the refractive index mu and the thickness t, and that path difference already we have derived in the last lecture, and we know it is equal to the 2 mu t cos of r. The second thing, Stokes law, which also we have studied before, that tells us if the light rays is traveling from rarer to the denser media, and if it gets reflected from the surface which separates the rarer from denser, then the reflected light suffers an additional change in a path difference by lambda by 2 or the phase difference of pi radians. But if the light is traveling from denser media to the rarer media, and if it gets reflected from the surface which is separating the denser from the rarer, then no change in the path difference or a phase difference takes place. So let us start with the anti-reflection coating. I am going to show you the few instruments. As you know, this is the telescope. It is an optical instrument. Girl is watching through the telescope. This is another picture of a telescope. This is well-known instrument of that is a mobile electronic gadget, and this is the camera. You can see all these optical instruments, they are carrying the lens, and these instruments are used to see the image of the object. Now let us imagine that we are focusing the lens of the camera on the object. The scattered light from the object, when it falls on the lens of the camera, if large amount of the light will get reflected, then we will get the production of the dull image of the object, because the transmission of the light from the lens of the camera on a photographic plate will be very less. So if you want to produce the bright image of the object with the help of a telescope, with the help of a mobile, or with the help of a cameras, the basic requirement is that minimum reflection of the light should take place from the lens of this optical instrument. And to produce that, we apply the anti-reflection material coating on the lens of the cameras or the telescope or the microscope, which gives the images of the object, and that coating is called as a anti-reflection coating. So anti-reflection coating is used to produce the bright image of the object by reducing the reflection of light from the lens of these instruments. This coating must fulfill certain conditions. The first condition is that the anti-reflection coating material must have refractive index between the air and the glass. Second thing is that destructive interference should take place between the rays reflected from the top and bottom of the AR coating. We have studied constructive interference, it always gives the maximum intensity of a light, and a destructive interference gives the minimum intensity of the light. So we want that minimum intensity of the light must get reflected from the AR coating. So obviously the transmission of the light will be maximum, and hence the destructive interference should take place between the rays reflected from the top and the bottom of the AR coating. Now to produce that one, we require the proper thickness of the film. So let us try to find out how much should be the thickness of the film, so that always when the rays will get reflected from the air coating, they will get destructively interfered. So let us try to find out. For that purpose, let us consider a lens made up of a glass having a refractive index 1.5. Let us say that we are applying the air coating above the lens of this camera having a refractive index 1.36. Let us say that air is surrounding the lens of the camera. So we are fulfilling the first condition. Air coating refractive index must be between the air and glass. Now let us consider that ray AB is made incident on the top surface of the air coating. At point B, there is a change in a media from air to the air coating. So part of the light will get reflected as a ray 1, part of the light will get refracted as a BC. Now again at point C, there is a change of media from air coating to the glass, and hence part of the light will get reflected as a ray 2 and part of the light will get refracted. Obviously the refracted light is going to be the transmission of the light which is taking place through the lens, either on the eyepiece of the telescope or on the photographic plate in the camera or on the screen in case of a mobile. Now ray 1 and ray 2, these both the rays are derived from a single ray AB. So both the rays are coherent, and hence these two rays will interfere and they will produce the interference pattern. Now we want that the destructive interference should take place between the ray 1 and ray 2, then only the reflected intensity coming from this both the rays will be minimum. Now when we are talking about the ray 1 is getting reflected when the light is moving from air to the air coating. Air refractive index is 1, air coating refractive index is 1.36. So ray 1 is getting reflected when the light is moving from rarer to the denser. So ray 1 will suffer an additional change in a path difference by lambda by 2. Now similarly, ray 2 is getting reflected from point C, and again we can see here the the ray 2 is getting reflected when the light is moving from air coating to the glass, that is when the surface is getting changed from rarer to the denser, because air coating refractive index is less than the refractive index of glass. So ray 2 will also again suffer an additional change in a path difference by lambda by 2. So both the rays are getting reflected under the same condition when the light is moving from rarer to the denser. Now since the coating thickness is uniform, to write down the condition for a path difference between the ray 1 and ray 2, we will use the equation which is given by equation number 1 in the previous slide, which we are using for the uniform thickness thin film, that is 2 mu t cos of r. R is the angle of refraction. Now since both the rays are getting reflected under the same condition, the equation 1 will become 2 mu t cos of r plus lambda by 2 for ray 1 plus lambda by 2 for ray 2, because both the rays are getting reflected when the light is moving from rarer to the denser. So according to the Stokes law, lambda by 2 will get added. So you will get the equation path difference is equal to 2 mu t cos of r plus lambda. We can write down this as equal to 2 mu t cos of r, because addition of full wavelength in a path difference equation does not change the original phase of a wave train. If lambda by 2 gets added, then only the phase of a wave will get changed. But here we are getting a production of a full wavelength lambda, because both the rays are getting reflected under the same condition, and hence we can write down the path difference remains 2 mu t cos of r only, as it is not changing the original phase of a wave train. So path difference between ray 1 and ray 2 is 2 mu t cos of r. Now destructive interference should take place between the ray 1 and ray 2, so that the reflected intensity between the ray 1 and ray 2 will be 0. So here the path difference must be equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, that is the odd integral multiple of half the wavelength, where n will start from 0 value, 0 integer value, 1, 2, 3, etc. To produce the okay, let us equate now the first equation 2 and 3. You will get this equation. Now mu is the refractive index constant, thickness is constant. So let us say that now we are making the incidence of a light normally. Whenever the light falls on the lens of the telescope, on the telescope objective or the camera lens from the object, the separation between the object and that lens is very large. So we can assume that the light falls normally on the air coating, and because of that angle of incidence and angle of refraction will be 0. So we can take the cos of r, which is equal to 1. Now we want that the minimum thickness of the air coating, so that always the destructive interference will should take place between ray 1 and ray 2. So let us put for minimum thickness calculation n equal to 0. Using these conditions, equation 4 we can write down, it is equal to 2 mu t is equal to lambda by 2, which gives us thickness of the coating must be equal to lambda divided by 4 mu. So second condition is required, that thickness must be equal to lambda upon 4 mu. So this is an equation for the minimum thickness of air coating, so that always the destructive interference will take place between ray 1 and ray 2, and minimum reflection of the light will from air coating. Thus the material which we use as a air coating on the lens of the optical instruments must have the refractive index value between the air and glass, and second important thing, the thickness must be lambda upon 4 mu. Along with these two conditions, the material must be the adhere well to the glass, it must be the durable, it must be the scratch proof, and it must be the maintenance free. So the material which fulfills all these conditions and used as a air coating are the first one, magnesium fluoride MgF2, which carries a refractive index 1.38. The second one is sodium fluoride aluminum trifluoride. In short, we call that material as a cryolite, and it carries the refractive index 1.36. This both the materials fulfills all the conditions which is required one. But out of these two, widely used air coating material is a magnesium fluoride, as it is cheaper than the cryolite. So thus we have studied that magnesium fluoride, that material acts as a very good air coating material. Now let us try to discuss this application with the help of a problem. So we can see the problem on the screen. Can a thin film of water with a refractive index 1.33 form on a glass window pane with a refractive index 1.52, acts as a non-reflecting film? If so, how thick should be the water film? Now I will request here that you take a pause, think over this problem, try to solve the answer try to solve the problem, get the answer, and then check your answer by going to the next slide. So this slide gives us the solution of the problem. Yes, we can say that the film of a water can act as a non-reflecting because the refractive index of water is less than the glass and it is greater than the air. The thickness of the film must be lambda upon 4 mu. So we can put the values. Now here wavelength is not given in the problem, but always keep in mind our eye is most sensitive to the green, and hence we can assume the lambda is equal to 550 Armstrong. So using that you will get answer 1034 Armstrong. That is a minimum thickness of the non-reflecting film material required so that the water film will act as a non-reflecting one. So with this we have completed the discussion on the anti-reflection coating. Thank you.